You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports Reporters. Well, we got a couple of things going on here, both involving the NFL pending media rights opt-out. All right. I just mentioned this in a video earlier. I did a video about it the other day, but the NFL is going to look to opt out of its current media rights deal fairly quickly. It could be 2029. Now, the thought process is, as I said in the video the other day, the NFL could actually break up games and try to sell them in 5-game packages to these streamers. Now, NFL games going to streaming is already a massive thorn in the ass of NFL fans. More and more fans I see are pissed off that these games are leaving broadcast television and heading to streaming, and it seems to only be getting worse. Well, guess what? The guy that's over the FCC has officially said they are going to get involved if the NFL tries to put a substantial number of their games behind a paywall. And I wondered if they were going to get involved, and it looks like they're going to. The other thing that we've got is we all know Fox has the America Game of the Week, and it does huge ratings. Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt are the QB1's lead analyst color commentary combo for Fox. Well, Fox isn't looking so good financially if they decide to pay up substantially to keep the NFL. In fact, it could actually financially hurt them to the point of their stock value, whether or not you should invest or buy. Well, that verdict, it looks like it may change into a go from buying Fox stock to don't. In fact, getting downgraded because of the financial strain that could actually put on Fox Broadcasting. Clay Travis had on Brendan Carr of the FCC. This is what happened.
Note that broadcast television even can exist given how much money they make and audience they grow off of the NFL. Are you paying attention to that? Is there a role given those games on CBS, NBC, and Fox?
Yeah, this is one of the most significant features of broadcast TV right now. So much that local news and local reporting works, and there's funding for it because that great relationship between broadcasters in the NFL. And as that contract comes due, if too many of those games start to go behind a paywall, it's a problem on many fronts. It starts to undermine some of the reasons why we have that Sports Broadcasting Act. Now, look, there's some good reasons that come from this as well. There are more games that are available now, so there is some upside, but there's a real consumer frustration. So I hope that the NFL ultimately finds the right balance where we still get these free over-the-air games that helps grow the game. It brings additional audience to it. I just don't think it's a great thing if we see a critical mass start to go behind all sorts of different paywalls.
I don't know that.
And the question was, given the FCC oversees broadcast networks, would the FCC investigate if that happens? The answer was yes. So, we're always talking about reckoning. The one thing the NFL doesn't want is they don't want government involvement. It scares the league to death that the government might start sniffing around. So you could be looking at a very interesting ass-puckering scenario for the National Football League if they try to start putting substantial games to Amazon Prime, to Netflix, to Peacock, any of these streamers. I mean, there's other streamers that I think Tubi got involved this past year, right? And I know a lot of people would say, well, some of these services are free. Yeah, but some people don't want to own a Roku or they just want to be able to turn on their TV, go to their local broadcast, their local Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC broadcast, and watch football. Yes, like it was 20 years ago. People still want that. In fact, I venture to say that's kind of coming back around. So let's go over here to front office sports, because this is very interesting. All right. Each of the NFL's domestic linear rights holders is particularly exposed to a potential downtrend in media business, according to one prominent financial analyst, raising the stakes further for the league's upcoming renegotiations. As the league prepares to start talks this year, targeting a new set of right packs, Bank of America said NFL games are the glue holding much of legacy media together. That by itself is not surprising, as the league enjoyed its best regular season viewership since '89, neared another U.S. television record for the Super Bowl. They lost a significant amount of viewers in the United States, and in any given year dominates the list of top 100 U.S. broadcast. The soon rising cost of league rights, however, represents heightened pressure point for Comcast, Disney, Fox, Paramount, and their respective networks. Quote, the NFL-related content at this point is the key linchpin holding the linear cable bundle together. A massive driver of linear advertising dollars, retransmission fees, and even more recently, direct-to-consumer sign-ups. This market paradigm has not gone unnoticed by the NFL. Bank of America analyst wrote in a research note released Wednesday, quote, in short, it is hard to paint a positive outcome from the traditional media ecosystem perspective, as a collective annual cost for those four media companies to retain the NFL is set to rise beyond the current total of $9 billion. The analyst detailed a series of negative scenarios in play. The possible outcomes for the incumbent rights holders include being priced out of having NFL rights entirely, seeing their corporate bottom lines decline significantly, or a hybrid situation where they pay more in future rights fees for actual less content. Most of all, in analyst view, the most exposed in all this is Fox. The company received a downgraded rating from buy to, quote, underperform, as it viewed as a particularly reliant on NFL games to drive overall business. It is our view that an accelerated NFL media rights negotiation would immediately place financial and strategic pressure on Fox. The company is already aware of the approaching challenge. During an earnings call earlier this month, Fox executive chair and CEO Lakin Murdoch said there could be, quote, rebalancing of Fox's sports rights portfolio. It's obviously tremendous content for us, and they've really been a fantastic partner, said of the NFL. We have the ability to offset a portion of any kind of cost increases because we look at our sports portfolio as a whole. We would certainly consider balancing and rebalancing our portfolio as we move forward when those opportunities become available, so we feel pretty comfortable with the sports business. That's going to be an interesting balance for the NFL, because if the NFL is looking to get in a bind with the government, they're going to get delusions of grandeur. They're already doing it. In other words, these streaming companies have more money than these broadcast partners. So the Netflix and Amazon and Peacock are going to be like, really, Netflix and Amazon are going to overpay market value to get these games. And it's going to force the networks to have to overpay if they want to keep up. But now you got the FCC going to be looking at the NFL going, you better not put these games behind paywalls. You better not put any significant amount of games behind paywalls, or we're going to get involved. And the NFL certainly doesn't want that at all. And then comes okay, well, if the government decided to fine the NFL, what's the balancing act there between the NFL going, look, we're just going to mainly stick with the same model we got right now, but just we want more money, blah, 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 but we're not going to. They can't expect the broadcast partners to pay what the streamers do. All the while, fans are still getting inconvenienced in a lot of ways. I know there's people out there that do the whole, who doesn't have Amazon Prime? Who doesn't have Netflix at this point? You'd be surprised. And honestly, you would be surprised how many people had it and got rid of it because they're sick of paying for it. Installed an antenna at their house, and that's all they do now. They might keep one streaming service of some kind, maybe, but they don't do anything that's not just flat free. You know? This bears watching because it sounds like Fox may have a dilemma on their hands. Can you imagine Fox losing the NFC, losing the NFL? Man, you know damn good and well Disney and ESPN and ABC. That's what's going to be interesting. Well, who else is going to be willing to overpay for those games? Enter in Netflix, enter in Amazon. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.